Shalom, and welcome back to Bnei Noach Academy, Thoughts on Life. Please remember to hit the like button, to subscribe, and most importantly, to share this insight and inspiration with friends and family. So we're getting towards the end of the festival of Sukkot. If you look in the book of Numbers, chapter 29, verse 35, Bayom Hashemini Atzeret Yelachem. On the eighth day, there shall be an Atzeret, a holding back or restriction shall be to you. That's the quote in the verse. And then it goes on to describe in detail the various offerings for this particular celebration. Now, it's interesting that the Torah calls it the eighth day. Well, by virtue of calling it the eighth day, that means that it's a continuum of the previous day. In order to get to number 8, you have to go first through number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. However, we do know, and it's evident by the offerings and according to Jewish law, that this is actually like a new festival. It happens to come right after and in conjunction with Sukkot. Thus, it's called the 8th day. But on the other hand, it's like the first day. It stands alone. It's a celebration in itself. It's its own festival. So that actually, this information I just gave you is actually a question, not an answer. Why would you call it the 8th day? Why would God tell us that this has the value, the virtue of it being the 8th, while at the same time it's a category in itself. It's its own festival. Let's get a little Kabbalistic. You see, the number 7, as we mentioned, I believe in yesterday's class, 7 represents the realm of nature. Even though, of course, it's very godly. As we know, the 7th day of the week is the holiest day of the week. In fact, the Torah tells it to us right in the beginning in Genesis, later again in the Ten Commandments, and so many times throughout the Torah. The 7th day is the pinnacle of the week. It's the holiest day. But at the same time, it's still within the realm of godliness as it applies itself, so to speak, as it emanates to nature. So it represents the realm of nature. A full circle, a full cycle in the realm of nature is the number 7. 8 already represents something that's above, that's beyond nature. Something that is supernatural, that godly power that is not constricted, that is not, so to speak, filtered and diluted. Thus, it reveals itself in its full force, and that's where the aspect of miracles come from. Meaning, that is the level of godliness that being in nature, one cannot reach it on their own. One cannot aspire to elevate themselves to a point where they can reach it. It's beyond our reach. But once we're elevated to it, we could enjoy that level of godliness. And that's what the Torah is telling us. You see, on the one hand, it's 8. It's beyond. On the other hand, it's 8. It's connected. What does that mean? This festival represents such a high level of intense revelation, of godliness, of godly emanation, that it stands in itself. It's a holiday in itself. However, although we cannot reach it on our own, it has to be, quote, given to us because we don't have access to it from any of our strength, so to speak. Yet God wants us to do our maximum. He wants us to do our best to reach the maximum capacity that we can reach. And then he gifts us this extra holy level. In plain, simple English, God is always there ready to give us that extra emanation, that extra gift. But in order for us to achieve that, in order for us to be deserving of that gift, we have to do our maximum. Whatever it is that we can do within our realm, whatever we can reach, whatever we can aspire to, we need to maximize our capability and our potential then we could now be deserving. And indeed we do receive a greater revelation. And in our day-to-day life, this is very important. When asking God for a blessing, when asking God for those little miracles, of course we should ask God for those little miracles. But at the same time, we have to do our best, whatever our best is, whatever our maximum capacity is. Then we can have that expectation. And then are we deserving of receiving that special miracle.